are back today. At the same job I just got done with backfilling the courtyards with rock. Now I'm working on putting the water line in, or at least getting the rest of it ran down here to the meter. We've already kind of ran it underneath that wall and got it stubbed into the house. I'm just going to go with the same pipe that the water company uses right here on the end, which is 2-inch IPS, which stands for iron pipe size. So last summer I did the 2-inch CTS, which is copper tubing size. The IPS is just a little bit bigger, or basically the pipe's a little bit thicker and stronger. And I was able to get a 500-foot roll of it, so there won't be any joints or anything like that going to the house or couplers or anything. I'm trying to be careful. I'm just on the other side of the power, but you can always have like 2 feet either side of that line, so if I get back down into screenings, we'll be deep enough. But I'm in a 2150 and I'm trying out my 24-inch bucket, so I just went with the 24 for this machine, where just for situations like this where I've got room to run the bigger excavator, but I don't need a 42-inch bucket to dig these water lines and such with. So this should actually save me a little bit of time on digging some of these. I figured it worked well for water lines, and then like storm drains and different things like that, or even sewer lines. So like I said, anywhere where I can fit the big machine in there, it'd be that much easier to dig through the rock and just dig a little bit quicker. I'm gonna put this water line in. I want to dig down 36 inches and then come back up with like 6 inches of screenings, and then put the water line. So it'll be about 30 inches down, 28, 30 inches deep. So I have to double check. I think the top of that bucket's like 28 inches tall, so yeah, we should be about there. We are back at the water line job, obviously, and now I'm going to tie in the freeze-proof faucet, which is kind of got my pipe uncoiled. It's going to go up that way by the porta pot, but I got here is it's a brass saddle that goes around this 2-inch IPS, and it'll reduce down to a 1-inch CTS. So that'll snap in or bolt in over there. I will drill a 1-inch hole, then this threads down in there, and then the 1-inch CTS water line goes in there and then runs up the hill. So I have never installed one of these, so yeah, we'll just kind of go through it together and see how it works. me get this. Yeah, it's like a compression fitting, so you'll slide this CTS in there, then jam it on there and tighten it down, and then tighten down your set screw. It's called the stiffener. It slides in there. Maybe we should have put this, yeah. And then when this slides up and tightens down, it just crushes down to that pipe. Otherwise, it would just smash the pipe flat. This junk is so stiff. All right, it slides down until it bottoms out. Tighten up the set screw and you're done. Our hydrant to place in here. I'm trying to get out where you guys can see a little better, but we did let me just get down here. Got me a shut off for it, then we did a T, and then it goes over to here and has to reduce down to 3/4 to go into the faucet. I'm gonna put a 6-inch piece of pipe on this shut off. And then I just got this T and we just capped it off here because we may or may not run the water underneath the driveway to do some sort of irrigation system for his shrubs over there. So I'll have to mark that in, and then I'll get the loader fired up and we'll just start bedding this in with screenings. And as I go down, I'm going to kind of raise it up where it's not as deep and try to get this thing completely wrapped in the screenings before we start doing any backfill. And then I'll dump a bunch of clean rock out the side of the freeze-proof faucet right there, because it has a little weep hole on that. So yeah, we'll just pile, I don't know, half a bucket of clean rock around there, and then the rest of it will be bed and screenings, and this will be done. So I'm actually going to go start digging, because all the builders, 1 or 2 of his guys were here kind of helping me put all this together earlier, so I didn't get any of that on film. But I'm going to go back and dig for the other one on the back side of the house, and dig a little trench for the positive drains to extend that, because they're working on picking all those supplies up. So we'll go get that dug and then do this all over again. Now I'm going to dig for this other hydrant, and I'm going to also dig for the perimeter drain to extend those on out. Kind of going to try and dig them simultaneously, since they're kind of right here beside each other. I'm trying not to break all these limbs off this tree. Mostly scratch the paint on the excavator, but you know. Put that freeze-proof faucet kind of excuse me, right off the corner of the house, probably, I don't know, 18 inches or something, so they got room to get around it for their stone work. And I don't really need to dig it as deep as what I did on that other one, because this is all going to get backfilled another foot up there, I would say. Part about it is I need to be able to get screenings in here, so I need to knock these down. I like digging these with the big excavator, but it's kind of a pain when there's not as much room. close because those hydrants I got, they recommend like burying 27 inches of it, which won't quite be that deep, but by the time I go up, I don't want to get this thing where it's too short. Alright, then we use the handy dandy little swing boom. And the perimeter jam, I'm just going like, I don't know, maybe 6-8 inches down from the edge of the footing. Clean those out a little bit. Or I can just cut the end of it off like that. Just like so. Back to the water line. It's gonna be nice getting all this stuff in, because then I can finally kind of start rough grading this part of it, and I think they're actually leaving next week. The brick mason is supposed to be coming over here to set the blocks inside, and then actually start putting the stone on the walls out here. Carried on or carried, whatever. Finish this up here and then start throwing the pipe in here. I will check back. Better move my laser level stand. That's actually become my new tripod for my camera now, because I'm missing one of the little parts of the leg, so it just goes from job site to job site and becomes my little tripod. gonna start kind of clearing out for the, I guess we'll call it like the power line easement or whatever, but the power is coming from, you can't see that pole, it's right through here, but there's a power line that runs down the back side of the property here, and this is the closest way they can come up to the house. I think they're gonna bury it from there and then set like a transformer right here because it goes in the house right behind me, but they need a 15-20 foot wide swath cut all the way down, so I gotta take out all these trees and just kind of get them a path ready. Then the electric company will come through here and bury the power and get all that done. I just gotta clean it out for them. So the bad part is I'm gonna try to make it as narrow as possible, but also where I'm not scratching stuff against the side of the machine. I hate doing close quarters brush like that, where I just don't like scratching the stuff up. So the stick I know is going to, so I mean that's just part of that happens. So I probably could have mowed the majority of it, but I didn't look at it too well. It looked like it was kind of a little rough. I think I will set this stuff here, because I got a brush pile like on down and around that corner. Maybe when I get done I can come back up here and grab them and take them over there, because the rest of the stuff we burned, and then the last round of stuff we just hauled off because it was dry at that time and they were wanting to start construction, so I didn't want to catch the woods on fire or anything else. Back over here again today, and I got all the water lines and the freeze-proof hydrants and stuff and everything backfilled and kind of rough graded around here and cleaned up as best I can. It's a little wet down there, so just use the excavator to slick that up. And then, like I said, I got this built up for now. I didn't cover up the footings. They're going to use that as their brick ledge or when they do their stone. But then once it's done, it'll still come up probably another 12 inches, I think, and then just kind of taper out. But at least this kind of gets everybody a nice clean working space for now. The focus for today is going to be, I'm going to kind of reshape or change the angle on this ramp. This was just kind of done so they could get in here and do the work. We're actually going to like really taper it out, probably over to where the front of the machine's at, and then kind of about where this is cut out now. I'm going to come at kind of an angle here, and the same thing over there so they can do like some stem walls so they can have stone on there. So mostly just a lot of ripping. Got the pink Felco ripper here. This is some pretty rocky stuff, but I'll kind of put it on first, rip everything up, and we're basically just going to kind of bale it back on these piles here. At some point we'll probably try to get in here and start hauling a little bit of this out, because I don't think with the way they're going to do those walls and stuff, they want most of the stonework to be seen, so there's not going to be much need for backfill, or at least all this material anyway. So we'll probably I don't know if it'll be next week or not. I got another job and then you kind of start on, but at some point we'll start kind of getting this stuff hauled out of here. But yeah, for today at least, get this kind of cut out and graded. That way when the concrete guys do come back to work on that other wall, they can get their form set up here for these wing walls. And then there is going to be a ramp out of there with a trough drain across there, and then I think coming up here will be all concrete as well. So we're just going to jump in the 2150 and start baling some dirt back. Well, this is how this turned out. Looks like a giant bowl right now. So I'll probably get back tomorrow. I think I'm going to take all that bracing down, and then hopefully probably meet the builder over here and figure out. I couldn't remember if he said those walls were coming straight out and then 45ing. I'm guessing they will, and then yeah, we'll kind of figure out from there. Phone call, but yeah, I'll get back tomorrow. I can take that bracing down, and then we'll figure out for sure heights on the walls. They may be able to do a formed footing as deep as that's cut down, so it's going to get built back up some, and then kind of see how long they're going to be out here, and how long the walls are going to come out, and where they're going to turn and stuff like that. I'm also running out of room here, so need to either stack that back up, or at some point we're going to start hauling some out, which we should have done to begin with, because now my access through here is going to be a little bit of a pain to back the trucks in. But some of this, like I said, may go back or reshape some of this, and there'll be some more on that back wall whenever they get a little further along. So I hate to haul it off and have to haul any back, but we'll be back tomorrow and see what we can get into then.